Yo guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Welcome back to a different video to normal. Not a news video, not a match preview, not a match review, although Chelsea do face Villarreal later on in the Super Cup. Today I'm going to be talking you through what Romelu Lukaku, the player that is set, he's imminent for his return to Stamford Bridge, what he brings to Stamford Bridge, why we're splashing £97.5 million on the 28-year-old. I'm going to be talking you through all the stats from last season under Antonio Conte at Inter Milan. But without further ado, let's get into it. Just before we do, I urge you to like the video just to help me out a little bit. Just help me out, you know. Subscribe to help yourself out, to get notifications every time I upload a daily Chelsea video. Let's get into it. So starting off, who is Romelu Lukaku? Most of you probably know. He's a 28-year-old Belgian striker, although he can play anywhere in the attack really, but his main position is as a striker, a number 9. And he played for Anderlecht, then came to Chelsea, then went to West Brom on loan, then went to Everton on loan, then went to Everton permanently, then went to Man United, then went to Inter Milan, and now he is set for a return back to Stamford Bridge, back to Chelsea for a whopping £97.5 million. So what does he bring to Chelsea? Why is Roman Abramovich, Marina Granovskaya, Thomas Tuchel all happy to spend just under the Premier League world record, the Premier League record for a player? And it's pretty simple. He's a goal scorer. He will get you goals. It's not that difficult. Here is his goal scoring stats from last season at Inter Milan. Non-penalty goals, 0.62 per 90. So he's almost 88% of what strikers score every 90 minutes. NPXG is non-penalty expected goals. So he's expected 0.58 non-penalty goals a game. And as you can see, he's got 62 or 0.62 non-penalty goals a game. So he is beating his expected goals, which you'll have to see. Shot total, 2.8 a game. It's actually quite a bit lower than most strikers. But the fact that he is still getting the same amount of goals as strikers, that shows that he's lethal. He's lethal. Now we'll get onto assists in a minute. He's got 0.31 every game, which is very high for a striker. XA is expected assists and he's expected 0.23. So yet again, he is going over the top, beating what he is expected. NPXG plus XA, that sounds like some crazy mental maths calculation. It's non-penalty expected goals plus the expected assists, and that is 0.8, and that is high as well. 95%. Shot creating actions, lastly, 3.55 a game. That is huge. Shot creating actions, so that includes the 2 offensive actions directly leading to a shot, such as passes, dribbles and drawing fouls. Or he's excelling in every single expected goals, expected assists, and he is getting very close to percentile of other strikers. On top of scoring so many goals last season for Antonio Conte's Inter Milan, helping them win the Scudetto for the first time in a long time, he has also really breached his game further, taken a step forwards, and has really become more creative, creating the most chances out of the Inter Milan squad last season, as well as getting the most goals. Here is the creative sort of stats. Passes attempted, 23.41 per 90 minutes. That is quite low compared to other strikers. Pass completion, 71.4%, 41 percentile. That is also quite low. This is the last year. Progressive passes, 2.18. That's 75%. Progressive carries, that's driving forwards with the ball, which is something that you wouldn't really expect to see from such a big man like Romelu Lukaku. Still, 3.5 a game. Dribbles completed, same thing again. You wouldn't think Romelu Lukaku, 6'3" beast, you wouldn't think he'd be dribbling up and down the pitch all the time like Leo Messi. 1.23 a game. And then these are the big ones. Touches in the attacking penalty area, 7.27 a game. So he might just be a box threat. So a threat in the box, a fox in the box, which is also good. but that shows that he is able to create chances, making movements, making runs in behind, dropping off, able to have a shot from the edge of the box maybe, but most importantly, he can play with the ball at his feet in the opposition box, which is something we don't really have at the moment in this team. Timo Werner can't really do that. Kai Havertz is better with the ball at his feet. Mason Mount creates so many opportunities for himself, for other players. Same with Werner, I already spoke about him. Ziyech, I guess you could say Romelu Lukaku, he's going to have a huge impact on goal scoring opportunities. And progressive passes received, 12 a game. So that just shows that he is able to make runs in behind and get a progressive pass through the lines and he's through on goal. Or maybe they're playing around the edge of the box, he could take a step back, drop off like a midfielder does, but as a striker, opens up space for him, and 98% of that is huge. So now we've established he is a goal scorer. He's lethal. He can also create chances, and he's been doing that at Inter Milan last year especially, and the season before that. What else? He is strong. In Antonio Rudiger's interview yesterday ahead of the Super Cup clash, he said his body type is a beast, and he is. At Manchester United, he was big. He was muscular, and quite often overweight after coming back to pre-season. However, I did see an interview he was talking about, and he said that he had a digestive problem. I don't know how reliable he is talking out here, but he might have just been a little bit peckish and ate a little bit too much cake, or he did have a digestive problem. But now, whatever did happen, he has changed. His progression from his Manchester United days to now, he's so much slimmer, so much lighter, much more agile on his feet. And that is something that people criticised him at Manchester United. Too clunky for the Premier League. Not quick enough. But now he is a lot thinner, a lot quicker, more agile, and whilst still being strong. He is still 6'3", he's not going to shrink, and he is still built like a brick. Another thing that Thomas Tuchel was after was a striker that plays with his back to goal. He did say in another interview or press conference that now Olivier Giroud is left, Chelsea don't have a striker that plays with his back to goal. But Romelu Lukaku is that man. He plays with his back to goal. He can pin the defenders. If they try and tackle him from the left, he can just spin them, pin them, roll them, and he's through on the right. If they try to tackle him from the right, he just does the same thing. It is easy every single time. He plays with his back to goal. He can also, we spoke about his creativity. He can play with his back to goal, hold up the defender, do what Olivier Giroud does, knock it around the corner for the wingers or the runners through, or the wing backs who are going to be through on goal. He can then roll the defender, cross it into him for him to have a finish, because Timo Werner, he does all that. He doesn't really hold it up, but he makes the runs, but he doesn't finish either. Romelu Lukaku can definitely finish. Once again, he is left-footed. Kai Havertz is left-footed, Hakim Ziyech is left-footed. Marcus Alonso, Emerson, Chilwell. That's all the left-footers in our team. He is the first striker we've had as a left-footer in a while. Can't even think of strikers that are left-footed. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but it could open up new possibilities. Playing him onto his right, or Olivier Giroud actually. So he is basically Olivier Giroud, but when he was younger, and if he stopped going to the beauty salon and actually worked on his finishing. Last season under Antonio Conte, he played in a 3-4-1-2 system. 3-4-3, you can call it. 2 strikers up top with a number 10 behind him, which was more often than not Christian Eriksen, who I don't know what's going on with him now. Now he had his cardiac arrest in the Euros. I saw something saying he could go back to Ajax, but I don't know if he'll risk playing football ever again. I hope he does. But he was playing under Antonio Conte with the front 2 in a 3-4-3 system. So he knows the system already from the last 2 years. He played as a front 2 with Lautaro Martinez, which complements him and the other striker. And that other striker for Chelsea could be Timo Werner. When Timo Werner was brought in from RB Leipzig. He played alongside Jonas Poulsen a lot, the huge Danish striker. And we thought that Tammy Abraham could be the next Poulsen, next to Werner, creating chances, scoring chances. But it didn't really work out, which you can't really blame either of them. But Romelu Lukaku and... oh god, I've just seen some... Inter Milan could look towards Moise Kean, which is just showing that they want a striker. I was talking about Lukaku and Werner playing up front together. They could complement each other perfectly. When with Werner now having his first season finished, he can put that behind him. He's still got the most goals and assists in the whole Chelsea squad. And without Timo Werner, we wouldn't have won the Champions League. I'm putting that out there. Without Werner, we would not have won the Champions League. So now Lukaku alongside him, or just a bit in front of him by himself, he's also very capable as a lone striker, as just a central striker with players running up alongside him, bit deeper, more forwards. He is the perfect striker. He is also Premier League proven, as I went around before. He's been at West Brom, Everton, United and Chelsea. And even when he was called a flop at Manchester United, at the most dire times of his career, he was still getting a goal involvement every 2 games. And if he does that for Chelsea, then I think we can win the Premier League or the Champions League or both. So even if he brings his very worst to the table, he's gonna massively improve this side. Last season in Serie A, he played 36 matches and scored 24 goals with 11 assists. That's 35 goal involvements in 36 games. That is nuts. In the Champions League, you got 4 goals, 0 assists in 5 games. So that's once again 4 out of 5. 35 out of 36. He is a goal scorer. He is just the perfect player that Chelsea needed. There were talks of Haaland, Kane, Lewandowski, but Lukaku, I never really saw Lukaku as my first choice. I still don't know if I do. I would prefer Erling Haaland probably because of his age, and he is, I think, a generational talent. But Lukaku at this point in time is no matter what you say, he will improve this Chelsea side. Considering we've just come off win the Champions League, there's not much to improve. So it is a perfect signing. And lastly, he is determined to prove the doubters wrong. The ones that said he was done at United. Get him out of my club, go play for Inter Milan and come back when he's good enough. And he is good enough. He has unfinished business with Chelsea. He fell in love with the club when he was a bit younger, but never really got to play for Chelsea as he thought he might have. But this is his chance to really do it once again. So he is going to be determined to prove the doubters wrong and do as well as he can on his return to Chelsea. That is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video to help me out. Subscribe to help yourself out. Come on, Chelsea. Bring the Super Cup home. And then Romelu Lukaku tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Good. Bye.